Hey. Bringing on my co-host, Kate and Berricat. All right. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and share this. Okay. All right. I'm still. Are you all the way? Berricat. I'm the founder of Berricat Ventures. We are a US Nigeria business platform available on berricat.com. We connect entrepreneurs. Our platform is where they come, they connect over business ideas, creative ideas, marketing, and advertising. We are based in Las Vegas, Nevada, broadcasting live to you guys all over the world. So yeah, go ahead and tell us where you're watching from. You're frozen on my out. There you are. How are you? Hey guys, share this. Sorry for the early technicalities. Can you guys hear us loud and clear? We want to make sure that the audio is loud and clear before we proceed.
We want to make sure it's not echoey.
Yep.
Make sure it's not echoey.
So comment in the section. Let us know if you can hear us loud and clear, please. And while we're waiting for that, I want to encourage you to go ahead and grab yourself an adult beverage. If you don't drink adult beverage, go ahead and grab you water, soda. Nigeria, we call it mineral. Let's just sit down and have a conversation on this wonderful, wonderful Saturday afternoon.
Get comfortable.
Nigeria, there is 8:05 p.m. Here in Las Vegas is 12:05. In New York is 3:05 because New York is 3 hours ahead of Las Vegas. Oh yeah, and then Texas. Thank you. Thank you for the thumbs up. Can you hear us? Type in the comment. Let us know if you can hear us loud and clear. This is gonna be a fun fun chat. We like doing these things. Hope you guys had a wonderful week. All the entrepreneurs all over the world, changing lives and creating jobs and impacting the world through job creation, community development. For those who are exporting just like we are, bringing Nigerian goods to the world stage. I want to thank you all for all that you do. And I know it's not easy being a businessman or a woman or being a business owner, but just know that whatever you're doing in the business space, especially when it comes to manufacturing and exporting Nigerian goods abroad, just know that you are touching lives and impacting every opportunity that you get to manufacture in Nigeria and export into the world. You are creating local jobs. You're creating local jobs. Just know that. So once again, if you're just tuning in for the first time, my name is Richard Bereket. I'm the founder of Bereket Ventures at bereket.com. And I'm sitting here with my beautiful wife, Kate and Bereket. So why are we here today? We're here because I want to talk a bit about my state. Put the fries in the bag, uncle. Which one is the fries? I don't have fries. I have bourbon.
What that means.
Regular HO2. Let me ask you a question. Can you hear me loud and clear? If you can, just type a yes there. So a little bit of ancient history. When I was born in 1978, okay, so they can hear us. When I was born in 1978, the state of Akwa Ibom did not exist. I was joking, by the way. No problem. So the state of Akwa Ibom was not in existence. Hope you guys are doing good. We are doing excellent. What are you drinking? What's in your cup? So a little bit of ancient history, guys. So when I was born in 78. The state of Akwa Ibom didn't exist. Back then, it was stay away from it. So Akwa Ibom State did not exist until 1987. As far back as the 1950s, possibly even earlier than that, because Nigeria did not gain our independence until 1960. So the people of Akwa Ibom, they had always been looking for a place to call home. They wanted to be represented because it was initially Cross River State. So Akwa Ibom did not exist. It wasn't until 1987 that the state of Akwa Ibom was developed or was actually born. And who can tell me who created the state of Akwa Ibom? If you know who created the state of Akwa Ibom, type it in the comment section. I'll give you a few seconds. If you know who created, don't chat GPT this. Because I know that's what a lot of you guys are going to do. You're going to get on chat GPT to find out who created the state of Akwa Ibom. But anyway, the former head of state in Nigeria, General Ibrahim Babangida, was the one that created the state of Akwa Ibom in 1987. And the objective there was he wanted to bring representation to the people of Akwa Ibom. He wanted to bring power closer to the people. That's why he created the state of Akwa Ibom out of Cross River State, which, by the way, Cross River State still exists. The capital of Cross River State is Calabar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the capital of Akwa Ibom is Uyo. So my grandfather on my dad's side is from Akwa Ibom State. But then my dad's, like my grandmother, my grandmother or take me to Calabar. So I got a chance to actually live in Calabar, experience Calabar, while also living in Akwa Ibom State. My grandfather, the doctor. Or a home state to explore and invest in a top three. So you also have Lagos. That's the commercial capital, the commercial center of Nigeria. You're always going to have Lagos. You're always going to have Abuja. And then I think right after that is Akwa Ibom and Port Harcourt River State. It's becoming a hotbed for investment, a hotbed for business. And as a result, it's also attracting a lot of talent to the state. So for those of you who don't know, Akwa Ibom, baby, it's very similar in terms of population to Las Vegas. I'm talking about Uyo capital, similar to Las Vegas.
Yeah, I actually looked it up the other day because
Let's search the population quickly.
it's over 1 million.
Okay, so population.
I was talking to a friend of mine when I took Jeanette to cheer, and he asked how big it was. So we looked it up. It's like 1 million something.
So the Uyo proper, it's about 437,000 residents, Uyo proper, but the metropolitan part of Uyo Akwa Ibom State is about 2 to 3 million people population. So you can technically, just like how we have here in Vegas, where we can technically go from one end to the other end. For last cities, where are you riding from? Guys, if you guys are watching my call, this is my wife. Oh, this is not my girlfriend. Oh, this is my wife, kids. If you guys are watching for the first time. For last city, where are you? Just like how in Las Vegas, we can go north, south, east, west. You can literally get from one end of Vegas to the other end in about 30 minutes. That is how Uyo Akwa Ibom State is. It's that small. But at the same time, it's also a metropolitan city. Lagos, Nigeria. That's good. That's what's up. I was born in, you should know now, you know Surulere, Lawrenson. That's where I was born. I went to Elizabeth Fowler Memorial. If anybody is watching this from Elizabeth, I went to Elizabeth Fowler in Ikate Surulere, Lagos. That was where I went to primary school, Elizabeth Fowler. So I've come a long way. I've come a long way from Lawanson to where I am today. So, yes, go ahead. You have a question?
So, what do you think Uyo and Akwa Ibom State, like, what are they on the map for? What are they known for?
That's a great question. Actually, some of you think Akwa Ibom is in Uyo. Akwa Ibom is not in Uyo. Uyo is in Akwa Ibom. So Akwa Ibom is the state. Uyo is the city, capital city. Akwa Ibom is known for its oil reserves. We are known for the arable land, for farming. Akwa Ibom has some of the best sand deposits that you use to make like glass. Akwa Ibom has a very solid sand deposit of natural mineral. Yeah. You mean glass manufacturing?
Well, glass blowing is like you make a vase, like, or you make, like, you can make glass is, it's more than just,
The sand deposit that people manufacturers used to make shields and glass. Akwa Ibom has a large deposit of that.
Okay.
It's also a coastal. It's also a coastal state, right on the Atlantic Ocean. So we have the potential of having a seaport at some point, just so like similar to what Lagos has and Port Harcourt has. Akwa Ibom has that potential of having a seaport. Yeah. And the people, Akwa Ibom is also known for culture. It's one of the most cultured states in Nigeria. We are known for cultural arts. In the colonial days, a lot of the colonialists and the colonial masters or what have you, they used the coast of like Oron and Akwa Ibom State to be able to enter the country. So it had a very robust international presence back in the days of colonialism. Like in the 60s, when my grandfather was running his hospital in the 60s, it was very developed. Do you know why? Because during the colonial era, they paid very close back and watch the playback. So if you're just tuning in, we're talking about the business of Akwa Ibom State and why Akwa Ibom State is one of the areas right now. If you're looking at investments in Nigeria or setting up a business, you should definitely consider Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. It's one of the top destinations right now for business, enterprise, entrepreneurship.
do you think that Akwa Ibom will eventually be a tourist hub?
Mm, I think so. I don't see why not.
I mean, it looks beautiful on Google. I've looked
Yeah.
at, there's a beautiful museum there. If you guys know the name of that, I can't think of it off the top of my head. I feel like there's a lot of attractions that could bring people over there. What about like restaurants? Like what's there to draw tourist attraction?
That's a very good point that you so I can speak to Uyo because I'm very familiar with Uyo. I'm not really, I mean, Akwa Ibom obviously. So does it have the potential for tourism? 100%. But tourism right now at the moment isn't really something that Akwa Ibom State is pushing, which I find a little bit odd.
I know we can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
With tourism.
Right now though, it's more of infrastructure. Like they have infrastructures like roads.
Okay. I suppose you need infrastructure before.
It's important.
Yeah, for sure. You need to be able to get around effectively.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
So there's a lot of investments right now in infrastructure in the state of Akwa Ibom right now. I would probably say the top. I mean, Lagos has a good road network. Akwa Ibom as well has a very solid road network, which is important from like getting from point A to point B. Yeah. And the airport, the Victor Atta Airport, is not that. It's very accessible.
Yeah.
Meaning it's like a straight shot airport, which makes it what I would say it makes it easy for you to like attract business people. And right now they're starting to use Akwa Ibom State when they're flying through the Victor Atta airport in Uyo. Like people who are going to Abia State or Anambra State, they usually come in through Uyo Akwa Ibom. And then they just sort of fan out and go to different places in the south part of Nigeria. So if you're watching this and you're from Akwa Ibom, share it in the comments. Tell us what you think about the state of Akwa Ibom. If you've ever been there, what is your experience? If you're looking at going at some point, what is drawing you to the state? In the state of in the city of Uyo, because there really isn't any world-class ad agencies in the state. So the state is basically wide open for investments.
Mhm.
Even if you are a videographer shooting videos and photography, the city needs you, the state needs that business. Power by making it a safe state to live in. We really don't have a lot of the unrest that other states have.
Okay.
You know what I mean? This shirt that I'm wearing, made in Akwa Ibom State. Yeah. So for those of you, I know right now Akwa Ibom is a hotbed, and this is more of a like proceed with caution advice that I'm going to give you, because the city is a hotbed right now for investment. You're going to have a lot of people that are reaching out trying to sell you land and try to sell you businesses or try to sell you ideas. Always follow your gut instincts. Just because Akwa Ibom State is open for investments doesn't necessarily mean that it's a cheap place to invest in. So when you are getting an opportunity that's too good to be true,
Probably is.
it probably is too good to be true. So you want to proceed with caution. Because just like Akwa Ibom is open for investment right now, there are people that are always try to swindle people who may not know what they're doing. Do you understand what I mean? So some of the areas you want to focus on in especially that Uyo proper, that Uyo area is around that Oron Road area that leads to the airport. That Oron Road area. That's where you want to buy land if you can.
Do we have land there?
We don't have land near Oron Road, but we have land very close to it.
Oh.
Hello, everyone. Urumalu, David. What's going on, David? How's it going, brother? So land is available. Actually, when I was just home when I go home December, January. Uyo right now is sold out. Welcome, guys. I know some of you are trickling in, but like, share, and comment. Let's go ahead and get this out to in front of as many people as possible. Uyo right now at this point is sold out. Now they're starting to fan out outside of Uyo. That's where the lands are now.
So they started inside the
Mhm.
Okay.
So development is actually leaving.
Okay.
Yes, welcome. Development is actually leaving Uyo now and starting to enter other parts of the state. But if you have an opportunity to invest in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, take that opportunity. But also do your due diligence, though, guys.
Always.
Do your due diligence. When you are looking at a land, a state that's, what do you call that? Like when something is, like a fertile ground to grow or fertile environment to succeed. Akwa Ibom is where it's at. They have a very strong Hausa community. They have a very strong Igbo community, all within the state of Akwa Ibom there. And you don't necessarily have to be in Uyo. There are other parts of Akwa Ibom state that you can plant your flag. We are from Nkpareni local government. You have Ikoro Padin, you have Ikoro Basi, you have Ikoro you have Oron. There's just so many areas within Akwa Ibom there that you can really, really set up shop and set up a business. If you are in consulting, if you are a consultant, meaning you give professional advice, set up an office in Uyo. It's not that expensive, guys. If you own a landscaping business, set up shop in Akwa Ibom State. You can't lose.
Yeah, because if they're building, and they're always going to be landscapers.
There's always construction going on. And the people of Akwa Ibom State are generally very nice. Does anybody disagree? How many times have you ever seen like a strong-headed Akwa Ibomite causing trouble? Even during that protest that they had a couple of years ago, about a year ago, Akwa Ibom did not participate. You remember, I used to sit outside and I used to watch that.
That wasn't that just last summer?
It was very recent.
August. It was last
Yes.
Yeah, I remember. Because of July or August.
Do you know why the people of Akwa Ibom State do not want any unrest? Why are they going to upset something that's working? You understand what I mean? Why are they going to upset something that's working? I can literally tell you that it's the state that's working. If no other states in Nigeria is working right now, Akwa Ibom State is working. And you want to get in on it now. There's a lot of our friends like Godwill in Jersey, my cousin in Jersey, everybody right now who are based abroad, everyone is looking at Akwa Ibom State. Even those people that are not from Akwa Ibom State are looking at it from an investment and business standpoint. What questions do you guys have about Akwa Ibom? Put it in the comment section. I'll answer for you.
No.
You know what I mean? So now you have, I just want to take you guys, you have I want to get into the political aspect of it right now, as far as the leadership of the state. So currently right now you have Umoino is the current governor of Akwa Ibom State. That just got in 2 years ago.
How long is the governorship?
General for 4 years. But just the way that the Nigerian system is, a governor always generally does his 8-year term.
So 2 elections.
2 elections.
And they only run twice.
I think they're capped out at 2 elections. But just the way the system there is, usually when you get in your first term, the chances of you getting reelected is 99% on your second term. Top 10 businesses that thrive in Akwa Ibom. Man, agriculture is there. Real estate development is there. Equipment, machinery, equipment rental is there. There's a need right now for a world-class advertising agency in Akwa Ibom State because they don't have any. Babe, you know how we have like Town Square, a place where you can go, you shop, you dine, you entertain yourself. At Uyo, we don't have that in Akwa Ibom State.
You
The,
need something
the
like that.
closest thing we have is, I think, is the Tropicana Mall. And when you go inside Tropicana Mall in Uyo right now, it's like 50% empty. Because it's an indoor mall, babe.
Oh, okay.
We don't have any outdoor malls in Akwa Ibom or in outdoor areas where you go with your family and you dine and you watch a movie, you sit and have a drink. We don't have any of that. You see, that's an opportunity.
That is an opportunity for sure.
It's an opportunity. The road network is there. The people are nice. It's a friendly state, but there really isn't that outdoor. Let me just take my family and just go chill and have a good time in Akwa Ibom State right now. At least that I'm aware of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have technology is also for asking JDM just to continue. So you have in no particular order. Okay, so you have real estate, you have you have agriculture, you have building contractors. Any sector that you can think of can work in the state of Akwa Ibom. Any sector you can think of, because the state is not that big. And if you also want to travel out to, let's say, Lagos, or you want to travel out to Abuja, you want to travel out to other areas, the airport is just right there. It's only a 45 minutes drive from you. It's 90 minutes from our village. And it's a straight shot. So that convenience, the convenience is there. I'm really championing Akwa Ibom. I know this is going to seem like a commercial for the state of Akwa Ibom. You know what? It is a commercial for the state of Akwa Ibom because
you're proud.
Number one, you are right, I'm proud. And secondly, we need more investors.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? We need more investors in Akwa Ibom State. So you look at Ibom Air, Ibom Air is the only state-owned and state-run aviation airline in Nigeria.
Right. Yeah.
And in Nigeria, you have like what? Maybe 3 different airlines. So you have Air Peace, you have Ibom Air, and I think you have, I forget the third one, but Ibom Air is like the go-to airline right now. And it's homegrown in the state of Akwa Ibom. 100% homegrown.
Where do they fly to? Like, where does Ibom Air fly you to? Where can it take you?
Within Nigeria, it's like from Lagos to Uyo, they fly to Abuja. I believe they fly to Enugu. And then just recently, they started flying to like Ghana. They're more of like, they are a regional airline. So they're not limited. I'm talking about Ibom Air. Now, Ibom Air is not limited to just within Nigeria. They are also like in Port Harcourt and other areas like that. Well, no, so not Port Harcourt, Ghana. Right. They're starting to like, there's that route. Right. Abuja, Ghana, Abuja, Accra, I think also Lagos, Accra.
So is Abuja an international airport?
It is.
And
Nnamdi Azikiwe, yeah. But Uyo, Victor Atta Airport in Uyo is not an international airport.
Right. I knew that because it was you fly.
Otherwise, I would fly directly. I would fly directly to
it. It was Lagos, but I didn't know that Abuja had.
So Victor Atta is not. I mean, it's a nice airport. It's a nice airport, but it's not an international airport. I'm talking about Victor Atta Airport in Uyo. Okay.
So if you were to compare Uyo to a U.S. city, what would you compare it to?
Las Vegas, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's a growing metropolitan city.
Okay.
So I can compare. In terms of size, I can compare it to Las Vegas. It's small enough to where you don't feel overwhelmed, but it's also big enough to where it feels like it's a metropolitan city where you can literally do anything from there. You understand?
So what do you think about like restaurant industry?
Where in New York?
Yeah.
You see the
Like,
thing
do you
about
think that is a worthwhile investment for like maybe more like a world cuisine instead of like to bring just because when you're here in Las Vegas, you can literally eat across the world. When you go to New York, you can eat across the world. You can eat any kind of food that you want. There's a restaurant for whatever you want. What do you think about bringing something like that into for that opportunity? Or is that not something that would fit like the next?
I mean, I know people who used to be based abroad who are back home right now running restaurants. But as you know, anywhere in the world, owning a restaurant is one of the toughest things you can ever do. It's not an easy sector.
What would you say
Restaurant
about
industry.
like a well-known restaurant, like
Having a
if you throw
presence
out a name, like Gordon Ramsay is just like at the top.
like the 460s
Yeah,
steakhouse.
right. Like, do you think something like that, like if the Ibom could get like a big name restaurant to come in, and I'm not talking fast food chain, nobody, well, like I'm talking about a well-known like
Quality
quality
restaurant.
cuisine.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see why we can't thrive.
Yeah.
Because the thing about Nigerians is we are always looking for new experiences.
Okay.
From my experience, no pun intended, when you look, you see Nigeria, especially Uyo is not really a place where sectors are consolidated in single areas. Because like right here, you would have like car dealerships, and then you have a dealership row where you can go, okay, this is the place that we can go and buy cars. In the restaurant space in Uyo, it's all in different pockets.
Okay.
There's really not that concentrated area where you can say, okay, let's go. Like you can't go bar hopping.
Right.
You know how we have a downtown. We don't have a downtown in Nigeria.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that kind of brings us back to not having like a town square.
We don't have a downtown in Nigeria. For those abroad that's watching this, you know what I mean by downtown. We don't have a downtown in Nigeria. So you will have a restaurant here, and then you have gas station, and then you have a field, and then you have the market. It's like literally a cluster of just randomness. It's not really organized. So you don't really get to experience being able to park your car, get out, walk into this restaurant, have a drink, walk into the next restaurant, have a dessert, walk into the next restaurant, have another nice drink. We don't have that experience.
So, do you think that's a hindrance?
I think 100% is a hindrance because it limits the flow of movement. Because if I have to experience one thing here, then I have to get in my car and drive across town to go experience something else. You don't have that flow. Whereas in the United States, for instance, we have a town square here in Las Vegas. We can literally spend 2 or 3 hours inside that town square. You see a movie, you have dinner, you go on a date with your significant other, you get out and have a drink.
You can bring your kids.
You can bring your kids to the playground.
There's a splash pad.
And before you know what's happening, within that, let's say 2 to 3 hour window, you've dropped $100 to $150. You want to have ice cream, you want to have coffee. Nigeria doesn't have, Akwa Ibom doesn't have that. And that could be an area of opportunity for someone looking to invest in that sort of experience.
Right. Well, and I think that would help draw tourism too, because you need to have places like that.
100%.
What about theater? How is theater?
Listen, I don't know of one existing movie theater in.
Not even just.
Are you talking about like a movie theater, like an amphitheater, like an amphitheater for like plays and stuff like that? I don't know if it exists.
Really?
Not that I'm aware of. So you guys can see, like, if you go to Akwa Ibom State, you are going to see a lot of homes. There's a lot of like private residences. People are building homes left and right in states like Akwa Ibom State, in cities like Uyo, but no one is really building experiences where the homeowner can get out of his house, take his wife and kids, and go and experience a plaza or a place for, let's say, 2 or 3 hours and come home. They don't have that.
Is it like, okay, might be really ignorant of me to say, is it out of touch to think that could happen, that you could have a place where people are that have the money to bring their families there? Like, is that like?
I don't think it's out of touch. I just think that it just hasn't been built. Okay. You have to look at, for instance, we didn't know that we needed an iPhone until Steve Jobs gave it to us. Right. Because prior to the iPhone, I was one of those guys. I was on a BlackBerry, and then you have like the flip phone. You had a BlackBerry and you had the flip phone, but nobody really knew that they needed an iPhone until it was actually built. It's the same thing when you build an experience like that, people are going to show up. So from what I see, it's like they'll get to you, and then they'll just go into their homes, and everybody just creates their own entertainment within the confines of their own home.
So what about like playgrounds or parks?
There are parks. There are parks and there are playgrounds. But they don't have that end-to-end bespoke experience that I'm talking about. Like, for instance, we out here, we can take the kids to Town Square where we know that there's a park there. But once we're done there, we can just walk a minute or two, right, to a restaurant and have dinner with the kids. Right. Nigeria, they don't have that. You will literally have to take your kids out of that park, right, and then put them in a car, and then go find a restaurant. Okay. So these are just the experiences and the challenges, guys, that we're talking about, which for those who have never been, it's an opportunity. It creates that, at least it starts putting some ideas into your mind that although it's a great state to live in, it's a very peaceful state for you to actually develop and grow a business, but they're still lacking in the most just basic life experiences. I went to a wine shop to buy bourbon when I was in New York. There's only that one.
This one.
That feels like an actual total wine. You know what I mean? That feels like a nice wine shop. It's just that one. Everywhere else you go, it's like a supermarket. I'm talking about creating experiences for people. Is what I'm talking about. If you're tuning in for the first time, we're talking about the state of Akwa Ibom State. The business of Akwa Ibom. And why it's a ripe state for people to actually take their ideas and invest in. I honestly feel like if you have a consultation business, if you have a marketing agency, if you have an advertising agency, even if it's a real estate consultancy agency, or even a medical practice, you want to establish something in Uyo, even if it's just opening up a satellite office, Uyo is the place to be. I'm not saying Lagos is not good, or Lagos is great, but the thing about Lagos is it's oversaturated and it's congested. Akwa Ibom State, not so much.
Does Lagos have that kind of like shopping center downtown area space or no?
Lagos does. Lagos does have that. But the problem you're going to have with Lagos is getting there is the issue because of just the congestion and the traffic. It could literally take you all day to do two things in Lagos. I've experienced it where it took me literally all day to do two or three things in Lagos. Whereas here, because of our system here, you could spend all day and do 50 things if you plan it well. In Lagos, our tops, I'll give you three. You're not going to do more than that in Lagos. So while Lagos has that, it's just getting there and experiencing it is the issue. Akwa Ibom State, Uyo is much smaller than Lagos, but it feels almost like a sleepy town to where you see a lot of residential homes. But all of these homeowners, they have nowhere to go. So the people who want that kind of experience, they might just hop on a flight and go. I want to get out of Uyo for the weekend. Let me go to Lagos.
Yeah.
You understand? So the experiences, the lifestyle experiences, I'm not really personally into. Whoa.
No.
You see, this is the issue when you're doing live content. Your kids just barge in and they're fighting right now.
Nelly, come here, please.
Gina, what is wrong?
What's happening?
Pardon us, please.
Nelly, come here.
Gina, do you want to come here and hang out with me? All right. What is wrong? What does she want? Gina, close my door. Please.
She can't. Nelly's on her.
Close my door, Jeanette.
Nelly, will you close the door, baby?
Yes, guys. If you guys are still hearing us live, let us know because I can hear a little bit of an echo with Kate's mic.
Thank you, Nelly.
Just invested in some microphones and we're having these issues still.
Okay, baby. She closed it with her.
So Uyo Akwa Ibom State, guys, look into it. Look into it. There are people out there that can help you buy land. There are people out there that can help you set up offices. There are people out there that can do whatever you want. They can help you source. Look for lands. If you want to open an event center, if you want to open an event center, there's opportunity there. Yeah. You see, they are tempting me. I'm not going to stop this live. I'm going to continue doing it. Gina, answer your sister. Nelly.
Answer her house. She's just like me.
Yeah. So what questions do you guys have about Akwa Ibom?
Nelly Bugs.
Post it in the comments. Do you have any questions about Akwa Ibom State? Post it in the comments. For those who are tuning in for the first time, my name is Rich Mberiket. Visit us at mberiket.com. Actually, let me use this opportunity to tell you guys more about mberiket.com. So we are a US Nigeria business platform. We just recently launched our e-commerce site on mberiket.com under mberiket.com/shop. So when you go to our e-commerce site, you are going to find skincare, decor, grocery.
I do.
What else do we have, baby, on our e-commerce site? Okay, go out.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
Babe, you want to get up and close that door, please? So go to mberiket.com. If you're in the US looking for Nigerian groceries, we have it. You can shop groceries on our site and we'll have them shipped to you in 2 to 3 days.
I mean, I don't know, like spices and dairy.
That's under our grocery. It's under the grocery department. So are you looking forward to going though, babe? Like I know you talk about it all the time. You're looking forward to like visiting Nigeria. My wife has never been to Nigeria.
I've never been. I'm really excited. I'm more so excited to see where you grew up and how you grew up and where you went to school.
Well, I didn't grow up. My parents are from Akwa Ibom State, but I didn't really grow up. I mean, I went to high school. I spent 2 years in boarding house, guys, in a boarding school, Regina Shelley in Isene in Akwa Ibom State. Back then, it was an all boys school. Today, it's more co-op now, boys and girls. But when I went from 94 to 96, I believe, or 96 to 98, it was all boys. Yeah.
But I do want to see where you went to high school.
I'll take you there when we go.
I don't know if you guys, for those of you who don't know, I'm a math teacher, a high school math teacher. So education to me is really important.
Yeah. Yeah.
You went seeing all that. I was so excited to see the house. And
So yeah, well,
I'm excited to see the people.
We're talking about, sorry guys for the audio. If there's still that audio playback issue, we are going to fix it on the next episode. So our apologies for the technicality. We spent over like $100 on new microphone, and it's still giving us this echo, this problem. So I don't know what the deal is. So what questions, guys, do you guys have about the state of Akwa Ibom? For those who are watching from abroad, rest assured that the state is one of the safest places you can live in Nigeria. Akwa Ibom State too. One of the cleanest, one of the safest states right now in Nigeria for business. There's a lot of foreign nationals that are operating in the state of Akwa Ibom right now. So anything that you can conceive, ideas that you can conceive of, and you're looking for a place to launch that business, I highly, highly recommend the state of Akwa Ibom State. We have a very strong presence there. So I can speak about it with conviction. I sleep well at night when I'm in Akwa Ibom State. I sleep well. I mean, I have my own rules, though. As in, I don't travel at night. I have the window of operation, meaning anything that I'm doing in the city, I'm usually done by, let's say, 4 o'clock. By 5 p.m., I'm at home.
But I think that's good practice, no matter where you.
Mm-hmm.
I
mean, in the US, yes. I mean, you could travel late at night. Because the thing about here, though, babe, let me just say this quickly, is if you were ever in an emergency in the US, it's easy to get out of that jam, no matter what time of night it is. Whereas if you're in an emergency in Nigeria, I'm not talking about anything bad. I'm just talking, let's say you have a flat tire. That kind of emergency is what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's gonna be tough for you to find help. So we are still lacking in that regard. But overall, you can go to a state, have a good time, invest, buy properties, build homes. Akwa Ibom is one of the top 3 places that I would recommend.
Right.
Without the stress and the headache of, let's say, a place like Lagos and Abuja. You know what I mean? It's small enough for you guys to be able to navigate in and out. And it's also big enough where you don't feel like you're in a small town or in a small rural area. So I was talking initially about the government, and now the current governor is Umoino, and then before him you had Udom Emmanuel, and then before that is the Senate President Akpabio, and then before Akpabio was Victor Atta. So all of these leaders contributed to the current state of Akwa Ibom. They really did. You know, they really did. And at the same time, too, and I'm not beating this over the head too much, I also have to thank the people. They are watching this. I also have to thank the people of Akwa Ibom State because they are also contributing and helping the state develop.
Right.
Because if you don't have a community, you don't have a state. You know? So that's it. Look into it. This is we're gonna keep it at an hour today because the girls are really bugging. So any questions before we go about the state of Akwa Ibom, guys? Let me pour myself another drink. For those of you who don't drink, go and get some water.
Or tea. Or coffee. Do you guys drink coffee in Nigeria? Is it big over there? Or is it more tea?
Nigeria is more tea. Nigeria is more tea.
Did you grow up having like a tea time?
We didn't have a tea time, but I grew up drinking like Lipton tea.
Oh, that's really tea.
What do you mean? Lipton tea is tea. That's what we grew up on as kids.
But that's not what I
And
drink.
peak milk. What do you like tea time?
Yeah.
What does that mean anyway? Tea time. But our question is about coffee. Do we have it? Does Nigeria have a coffee culture? Nigeria doesn't really have a coffee culture.
Or a tea culture.
Let me tell you, me, I used to live in California. I used to live in LA, Los Angeles, where it was coffee every day for 12 years.
You still drink coffee?
I drink coffee.
You drink
coffee. Well, listen, we drink coffee every year, even at home here in Las Vegas. We drink coffee every day. But Nigeria is not a coffee culture. People wake up in the morning, they'll boil their hot water, and then they'll drink their tea. They'll have their bread and eggs. You understand? Yeah, bread and eggs. But it's not really Abi Alai. If things have changed in Nigeria, if Nigeria is a coffee country, and I'm not gonna let me know because me. But I enjoy coffee anyway. Anytime I travel home, I try as much as possible to just get and I make myself coffee. So any questions, guys, about Akwa Ibom State? For those of you who have never been, if your lineage and your family is from Akwa Ibom, please make every effort to visit. You're not going to regret it. Things are changing right now in Nigeria for the best. A lot of people are facing home. I cannot stress or emphasize this enough. And majority of people right now are actually starting in the state of Akwa Ibom, Nigeria, right now. As far as business goes, that's where they're starting. We have the land mass, we have the climate. We are right there, very close to the coast. There's a particular part in Akwa Ibom State called Ibom. This is where remember when I went home in 2020 and I was on that bike? That was Ibom that I went to. It's like that beach. Yeah. When you're talking about a resort experience, Ibom would be the perfect place for something like that.
It's a resort.
It's right there on the Atlantic Ocean. Yep. So these opportunities are there. So much potential. And you don't even have to go as far as Ibom. You can just start there you like in my local government, and by in local government, there are opportunities there too. Then you have Ikoropadin, there are opportunities there in Ikoropadin. Also in that Ikorobasi, by in local government area, where you can go and establish something for yourself. Yes. Hey guys, let's get more people on this. Let's talk. I got time. Kids may have to go soon, but me, when I get my time today. Everybody, Esther, CAC agents. Congratulations, Esther, on the businesses that you've been getting on the American platform. I'm proud of you.
What does CAC mean?
Esther, Kate wants to know what CAC means. What does that mean? What do you guys? I think Corporate Affairs Commission, right, Abi? So CAC is where you go to register your business. Yeah. CAC is where Esther, is it Corporate Affairs Commission? Is that what it stands for?
So is that like our Bearcat is L?
American Ventures Limited. Yes, CAC is Corporate Affairs Commission. Yeah.
Isn't it L?
What?
When we register our business, what did we?
American Ventures Limited. Is that what you mean? Yeah.
The
Esther, let me ask you, while you're thinking about what you want to think about.
I want you to answer my question.
What is your question? I don't know your question.
What's the 3 letters when you register your business?
LLC?
LLC. Yes.
What about it?
Is it like equivalent?
No, babe. No. LLC is a limited liability company. So CAC is kind of like the state of Nevada when you go and register your business. So that is the government agency that handles the registration of all state. And they are also responsible for making sure that you're compliant and then you exist. That's really what LLC is not a governing body. LLC is just what you attach to your business. Yeah.
Body responsible for the registration. Oh.
So Esther does that.
Cool.
All of you that's looking to register your business, you better call Esther right now.
Right.
She's the one that will help you register your business. Esther, can you come on? If you can come on, let's bring you on so you can talk a little bit. Just type there in that message, let me know. So she's the one that helps both Nigerians locally and Nigerians abroad establish their businesses in Nigeria. Esther CAC agent does that. So if you're watching this playback and you need Esther's services, just comment in the comment section and we will direct you straight to her. We are very happy with the services that she's been providing some of our members on the America platform.
Cannot come on.
She can't come now. Hobby just got home. Yes, take care of your hobby. I have to attend to him 100%. But thank you for tuning in. You know me, I like when Kate attends to me. But we are going to get Esther on in another episode to come on and share a little bit about the services that she provides for people. Because I really do think that a lot of Nigerians, especially those abroad, they really don't know where to start. Remember, we were in that same situation in 2020, where I knew what I went through just to get somebody to help with our opening up our bank account, help with us setting up our business registration and all of that. So there are definitely people like me who are abroad just looking for someone trustworthy to talk to. And that is what the America platforms provides. We literally connect you with professionals that you can reach out to help with your business, help you set up a bank account, no matter where you are on the face of the earth. They can help you out in Nigeria. Yeah. So anyway, guys, if no one has any other questions, we're gonna end this session and look up for the next episode next week, where I'm gonna come on and talk about some business content. Last week we had a very good session with JBM coming on board and talking about marketing and advertising. So we're gonna keep on continuing to bring you guys this value content. We're gonna talk about opportunities in Nigeria. We're gonna talk about states to invest in. We're gonna talk about things to stay away from. We're gonna talk about sectors that are promising. We're gonna talk about programs and initiatives that we're building here within Mberiket. So guys, thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. Really appreciate you all. Yes, I know it's late over there.
Tune into America.com and don't forget to tune into our lives on Rich Goes Live so we go live next week.
Excellent. America.com, just like Kate said.
Mhm.
All right, guys. We'll wrap up for today and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day and weekend. We'll catch up another time, okay?
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.